here we are now in the final portion of this class. We've done the impromptu, we mastered that sort of basic model of argument, we've had a chance to opportunity to refine arrangement, think about invention, then we moved into the informative speech, we had more moving parts there, we started thinking about including complex ideas and how we're conveying a certain ethos, and here we are now in the persuasive speech. In this very brief opening lecture, what I'd just like to do is kind of preview what the week is going to be about. And in essence, this week is going to be about two things: orienting you to this speech assignment, and then starting to get you to think about how your argument is positioned and what your argument needs to be thinking about. How is it going to be persuasive? So under the heading of orientation, the next lecture will introduce the assignment. We'll go through why we're doing it, some samples that you might consider for pursuing as topics. Then after that, we'll move in and discuss the rubric and analyze the sample speech. So in that way, this sort of first week of the assignment is very similar to what we did for the impromptu and for the informative. Then, in the second half of the week, what we're going to start doing is thinking about some ideas for understanding argument, understanding your argument, either for the one that you're developing for this class, or the arguments you find yourself in every day, in terms of how are you thinking about persuasion. So we'll talk about the concept of burden of proof, and then we'll end this week with a hugely, hopefully useful, I absolutely love this model, stock issues. So we'll talk about the burden of proof and stock issues. So that's what we're going to be doing this week. The goal is by the end of this week, you should have some tools for thinking more carefully through each and every persuasive endeavor that you engage in. And these can be cases of arguing for policy changes at work, or giving your client a reason to switch to your service, or it can be stuff like fundraising. There's a lot of flexibility here, but our core interest is with persuasion, the act of persuasion. So with that, we'll start talking about the nature of this persuasive assignment speech.